My name is Scott Murray. I'm an organic farmer in Vista, California. The name of our farm is Edge of Urban Farm. So we're on the edge of an urban area called Vista. So we're really farming just an acre. So I'm trying high density, low chill deciduous fruit. And I'm looking for ones that will really work in this environment here in San Diego County. And when we talk about cold chilling hours, we're talking about hours at 45 degrees or below over the winter months. So most apricots, for example, and most cherries require more than 800 hours. And we only get maybe between 300 and 400 hours at best. These are really high performance genetics, very high quality fruit. So we have 3 varieties of cherries that are 200 hour. We have Aprium and Pluot and spicy nectarplum. These are all fruits that are interspecies hybrids. So we have one 400-hour plum, and this is a golden nectar plum, which is the Japanese plums are discovered to be the most low chill plums. Most of our popular plums require 800 hours. This is one of our low chill apples. It's called Sundowner, and this has turned out to be an amazing apple. But notice it's also blooming right now, and this is a typical of the low chill apples is they'll sometimes bloom 2 or 3 times a year. Water is getting to be a very precious commodity for growers, and so these are laid out on the contour, so they will harvest the rainwater that backs up behind them and penetrates into the soil. We used a tool called a bunyap to divine where the contour line was across the landscape, what's a level line across the landscape. This was designed both to catch the rainwater so we can reduce our water consumption, and then each tree has a basin. The basins have a gopher basket in them and an emitter. When we build the hole, we mix both peat moss into the hole for a little water holding capacity, and we also mix in the fresh dairy compost. So each hole got about 2.5 gallons of dairy compost and 2.5 gallons of peat moss as well. And then they're mulched, and these are at the 6-foot spacing. So I want it to be easy to take care of. It's going to be 6-foot wide trees and no more than 12 feet high, so we can harvest them from the ground. So we've been maintaining this system. The first stage was getting the trees in and getting them mulched, and then we'll mulch over the whole garden to reduce the evaporation and reduce the weeds a bit. These were all planted bare root in January of this year, and they've grown incredibly, but we need to start shaping them for their future. So where I cut the branch here in the center is what we call the water growth, and now it's sprouting out and we're developing the structure of the tree. You can see on this pluot where I'd cut it back, and this is developing the structure that I'll be building on to have this 6-foot wide tree. We fertilize with a lot of tools: fish meal, fish bone meal, kelp meal, alfalfa meal, and also mycorrhizal propagals. The mycorrhizae are a part of the system that we're trying to keep happy. So they are attached to our root system. We're also caring for our root system, and we're caring for the growing out of the ground part of this plant. So moisture is the key. We can also provide nutrients to the plants through the irrigation system. So one of the things I'm doing here is installing a completely new irrigation infrastructure, and I'm putting in a fertilizer injector, and I'll be able to custom tailor feeding each area of my farm, the different crops, with different nutrients on an ongoing basis. The efficiency of nutrients applied to the soil is between 40 and 60%, and so at the 40% is the dominant average. The rest of the nutrients are actually building the soil biolife, which supports our plants as well. So when we spray foliar nutrients on the plant, they can absorb up to 80% directly through their leaves. So when we want to give a feeding, a critical feeding, a foliar feeding is one of the ways to go because it can get the nutrients to them very quickly. So this farm is designed with the future in mind. This orchard will easily be productive for 50 years, and that will be wonderful.